Here we go, everybody. Last event of the month. Woo! We did it. So today we have a really interesting webinar about what to measure when it comes to successful marketing campaigns. You know, you have a marketing campaign, you're doing a bunch of noise, you are confused in the whole digital noise of everything that there is out there. You know, all the businesses, products, services, everybody's talking too much. And then when we're thinking about measurements, because we're creating campaigns, organic, paid, of course, paid advertisement. This is how we are going to focus this event today. And we're going to see what are the key metrics, what to look at, you know, because we are, of course, surrounded by people that probably are helping us with these marketing campaigns, marketeers, interns, you yourself and you, whoever is doing this, we need to focus on performance, and we need to see with a clear perspective what is important when it comes to measurements. What are they, you know, what is the outcome of everything? And for that, we have invited our online marketing expert, really focused on data and on measurements. So welcome, Cristhian Socarras. Hello, Cristhian Socarras, waiting for you here. There you are.
Here I am.
Boom, boom. That's really cool. So welcome to our event. Actually, you hosted 2 events with us this month, and you're also doing Spanish and English. Like, he's a really hyper expert from our expert pool. So right now, I always say that we're like more than 40 experts around the globe. This month, we have more than 50 experts. Boom. We have a lot of new experts joining across 10 different categories. And we have to say that marketing is a really big category for us. It's a really strong one because we have, you know, in marketing, you have everything, you name it, you know, from content creation, from performance oriented, from everything. So let's talk about what type of marketer you are. Let's start with who you are, a little introduction for our marketers today.
Very simple, very focused to the point. I have been doing a kind of performance for the last 12 years. I began doing SEO and managing marketing campaigns and providers. And I have been doing basically strategy and SEO and ads for the last 10. I mean, the whole thing is achieve results. When they hire me, is I want to get this done. How can we do it? How are we going to do it? And well, just get it done. So that's it.
Yeah, it's really important because as marketers, we're surrounded by a lot of people that start doing marketing out of what is happening on social media, or they create a lot of content, you know, but we don't know anything about measurements. And when we talk to business owners, and especially to clients, it's really important to bridge that gap between, great content, but what is that meaning for my business, you know? So what I really like about Cristhian is that, you know, that we need to understand the business to be able to generate marketing strategies that actually work for the business.
I think that is happening because advertising is creeping into marketing. I mean, we have been used to advertising for, at least 50 years, right? And advertising is about exposure, mostly. But when you begin to do marketing and digital marketing, you are thinking about businesses, money, prospects.
Yeah.
But advertising does not think like that, per se. So since a lot of advertisers are coming into the internet atmosphere, we are beginning to see a lot of awareness and a lot of branding and a lot of buyer persona talking, like experts talking, and I mean it can blur the focus a little sometimes.
Yeah, and as I said before, there's a lot of noise happening. You know, there's a lot of happening out there, and it's like, you know, it's really easy to get confused when you don't have the knowledge. So how to distinguish what is relevant from what is not relevant? That's why I really like that you included here that you were part of presidential campaigns here in Colombia. You know, you're Colombian, by the way. I'm Colombian, by the way, for those who cannot see it already. So basically, you know, the fact that you are working or that you have experience in politics really makes it black and white. Like, you know, you win or you don't win. It's about both. So this is really about conversions, what works. I really like that Cristhian, respect my French, is not full of bullshit. Like a lot of marketeers out there saying, yeah, we do this, and they start talking with this complicated slang, CPC, blah, 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 blah. And then it's all about slang and it's not about results. So today we're going to talk about results. data, what to measure, how do you see it, and how to also demand that from your marketing team. When you have a marketing, you hire an agency or you hire a freelance, what to ask, when it comes to results. That's, I think, that is the main focus for this event, right?
Yes.
Live webinar.
So just
I'm going to
since you
disappear,
are
so
talking about
I'm going
this
to give you the
right
floor
now,
before you get started. Everybody, please join. Is live for a reason. We expect to have a bunch of comments, with all your questions, with everything. There's no stupid question when it comes to any of the topics that we're, presenting during our event. So make sure that you join us with, all the questions. In the end, we're going to have a Q&A moment where we're going to reply to all of your questions. Promise. Everybody, see you soon, Cristhian. I'm going to join you with the Q&A,
okay,
and good luck. Okay.
okay, thank you. Okay, guys, to the topic, like right away. So Maria was telling us that a lot of people is doing uh, a lot of noise in the web right now, offering content, services, products, using social media, and so on. I'm going to use a methodology right now that is the one that Google uses and Yahoo uses, a lot of big companies, and is the OKRs um, methodology. The first thing you need to pay attention to when you're going to do a marketing campaign is to set your objectives. I mean, you need to set goals that are simple, that are understandable, and that are ambitious. If you are not trying to achieve something great, is I mean, what is the purpose? So that's the way you set an objective. So everything you do goes to get that objective done. Okay. So it needs to be actionable. You need to put a time limit to it. 3 months, 6 months, a year, the crisis, I don't know. And it has to be binary. She was talking about politics, but it works on every single endeavor that you try to achieve. It is done or not done. You get the result or you don't get it. And for your organization, it has to be vital. I mean, if it doesn't allow you to breathe, don't do it. Just put it on the back burner and let it be. And don't set more than three objectives. That's very important. Okay, because if you do that, you add noise to your operation and you lose focus. This is about focus. Okay, now once you set your objective, I'm gonna give you three examples. The first one is one I gave my company 2 years ago when I launched the last agency. The objective was very clear for me and the other founders: is we are going to focus on keep the company founders alive and well. What it meant, we measured that in terms of money, in terms of hours employed, in terms of quality of life, and we defined that as the simple objective. Last day of the year, are we alive? Yes or no? Are we well? Yes or no? Do we have debts? Can we pay our rent? That was it. Okay. A second objective that was one for one of my customers. They wanted to go to get into an accelerator, a big one. So they had to set some results, get some results to apply for that accelerator. So if we didn't get the results, they could not apply. As simple as that. Okay. And this is one that I have now for a new company. They want to make digital sales, internet sales, the main source of revenue. Okay, so those are very simple, but are very ambitious. Okay, now you have those. You can think one that serves your company. We want to grow during the crisis, for instance. That could be a nice one. Okay, now once you set your objectives, you need to set your key results. Okay, so the key results are, sometimes people confuse this. They are not tasks. There are no day-to-day operations. They are the results. But you need to make them so that someone in your team, a manager, a leader, or a team of people, can be responsible to get them done. And they have to be quantitative. Okay, objectives can be qualitative, and key results need to be quantitative. So you need data to measure them. This is very important. You live through data. Okay, that is. I mean, cannot tell you enough. Okay, so for the objectives of keep the founders alive and well for 6 months, we needed to get at least 20 business meetings requests per month. If we didn't get 20 requests, we could not achieve our income expectations. Okay, we need to send at least 10 proposals per month and close 50% of all proposals sent. Okay, we didn't have a lot of money for that project. We were doing some other things, so we could not pay more than $20 per meeting request. So those are measurable. You can tell if you did it or not. You can put a percentage to them. So it's very easy to follow and it's very easy to understand for everybody. Doesn't matter the level within your company of the person who is seeing this. So you can explain it. If you can explain it, it's visible for everyone. No one is going to get confused. And that is very important. Okay. Now, once you set those objectives and those key results, you need to measure them against your resources. So you have your team, you have money, you have technology and knowledge. And you need to measure that across time or against time, because time is a very limited resource. You can make more money sometimes, you can buy new technology, you can learn new things, but you cannot replace time. You cannot get time back. So that gets you a very simple measure to understand if you're on the right track or not. And this is the one. You cannot have unlimited expectations with limited resources. It doesn't matter the size of your company. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. Nobody has unlimited resources. So keep your expectations in check. Okay? So you want to have a campaign that goes through all social media outlets. You want to post every single time of the hour. You want to do everything and all, but you need to go against time, money, technology, and knowledge. Okay? So be aware of that. Okay, some methodologies. I like OKR. I like that. KPIs, very good as well. I like them as well. Lean startup, growth hacking, whatever. Befriend the methodology. Do not marry them. Do what works for you. Doesn't matter. I mean, even the terms and the lingo. I mean, do what works for you. Okay. So following that, you have different moments for your strategy or your marketing campaigns. You can do traffic campaigns, so you need to attract people to your site, to your app, to your social media outlet, whatever. Okay. For traffic, you do search, you do ads, you do social media, and you do PR. Those are basic strategies to achieve that. For conversion, you have your platform, so your web commerce, your marketplace, your app, your fan page, your landing page, whatever. Okay, it depends on the size of your operation. A lot of people is selling through Facebook, through WhatsApp, through Instagram. So it's a platform. So how you're going to use it and how you're going to take the most out of it to get your conversions. The conversion wheels, So you get data, you send automatic messages through 2 or 3 or 5 emails or SMS or whatever, and you do remarketing. So people who saw your content can see it again in another platform. Maybe they saw you on Google, now they can see you on Facebook because you have cookies for that. And retention is it means that you can keep previous customer buying from you for a longer period of time. So you send SMS, email, you have automation campaigns, remarketing campaigns, and you do social media, community management. Okay? For all of that work, for all those strategies, you need content. If you do ads, a little less content. If you do search, a lot of content. If your strategy is based on social media, I mean, huge amounts of content. YouTube, I, I, I mean, it's alive. Okay, so you need to measure what you are doing what for. Are you getting customers? Are you retaining customers? Are you trying to improve your level of conversion, your conversion ratio? You need to know that first, because as I told before, it's all based on an objective. Okay, now what to how to measure. You need to compare weekday to weekday, week to week, month month, and seasons. For instance, you don't compare Monday to Tuesday. You compare Tuesday to Tuesday because behaviors and patterns can be different. Okay, and week to week, the first week of the month against the first week of the previous month, the third week of the month against the third week of the previous month, of the third week of the previous, of the same month of the previous year. Okay, and month to month, you can do that. So January against February, and seasons. So spring 2018 against spring 2018. Okay, that's it. You need to measure those results against the effect on your objectives and key results. So this graphic that you see here, it's measuring the violet one is measuring sales, the gold one is measuring transactions, and the blue one is measuring marketing spent. Okay, this is the one. So they have to go along. They have to move in the same way. In this case, this was a huge result because we got to improve the sales and the transactions, lowering the money spent. Okay, but they need to affect the result, and you need to measure based on a baseline. Where did you begin? What was happening there? And what are you improving? That's how you use KPIs. So you get a percentage. We're going to grow at 25% in the next 3 months. We're going to grow. We're going to duplicate our income in the next year. Okay. So you measure percentages, and that way you can take action or make decisions based on what is going well and what is not. Okay, so what is performance? This needs to perform. This is a game where you win or you lose. Okay, and this is the level. You go down. First, you get visitors or interactions. If you have an e-commerce or a website, you count visitors. But if you are selling using Instagram or Facebook, you count interactions. Interactions, the most important ones are comments and direct messages in Instagram. Okay, do not care about likes, do not care about views, doesn't matter. You count interaction in social media. Okay, that is the most important one. Then sometimes you pay attention to the time spent on the site. That is important because if someone goes to your site and he leaves in 2 seconds after that, uh, that is not important for you. Okay. Then you get leads. How you are going to measure leads? For instance, direct messages in Instagram is a way. Forms field in your website is a way. Uh, Questions asked to the chat is a way. And then you measure actions. In politics, the action measured is votes, for instance. But in regular marketing campaigns, you measure sales, you measure bookings, you measure downloads or installs. Okay? That's how you measure. So when you measure that performance, you go money spent versus the money received. Okay? That's the way. Okay. So basically, a result. Uh, there are several tools. Some are more sophisticated than others. Segment, Google Analytics, or Google Data Studio. I love Google Data Studio to do that. So you can have like a board that is actionable, and you measure this. These are the 5 key items to measure in your basically operation. So sales, that's the first one. Transactions, that is going to give you the average ticket. You measure marketing expense, how much money you spent on your endeavor, how many customers you got that week. Okay, and those curves need to look like this. If one grows, if expense grows, sales need to grow. Okay, and transactions need to grow. Okay, and you measure, usually you go this week against last one. That's the thing you have to pay attention to. If your marketing agency or your digital partner is showing you likes and shares, I mean, you have to think again what you're doing. This is what you need to measure: sales, transaction, marketing expense, new customers, and ticket. Okay. Then you measure your customer acquisition cost. That is called CAC, COCA. It depends. And there are two ways to measure this. The proper way is the money spent on new customers. For instance, if you have an app, the money spent on campaigns to promote downloads. Google have those, Facebook have those. Okay, against new customers. So if you spent $5,000 and you got 2,000 customers, you have a cost of acquisition of $25. Okay, 25 euros for Europe. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, and raw, this is a way that some startups are doing it. More startups are doing it right now. Is how much you spend in total and how many new customers you get. This is what I call raw. Why? Because it's not exact. Because you can be spending money on content generation, community generation, awareness, customer retention. So you cannot measure the whole expenditure against new customer because not everything is set to get new customers. Okay, this is very important. That way you know if it's valid for you. Usually, a good rule of thumb is to spend something around 7 to 10% of your product value in marketing endeavors. Usually, sometimes. If you are new, you might get that to 33%. Okay? Then you measure your conversion ratio. Your conversion ratio means how many transactions you get against how many interactions you get. So going back to the example of the Instagram account, how many comments you get, how many direct messages you get, against the number of new transactions. Okay. So this way you can measure the quality of your channel selection. So you can have a strategy for Facebook, a strategy for Google, a strategy for the digital network, the display network of Google, where you use images. You can use LinkedIn or you can use Instagram, and those behave in a different fashion. So you may have a customer in Facebook that pays less for the first purchase, but has a better timeline value. Okay, so you need to measure this against channel, and then that way you can measure the effectiveness of your strategy and your tactical achievement. You can measure the value perception of your offer. So you may have a nice traffic campaign, you have a lot of clicks, your image is great, your branding is great, but your offer is not very good. So you can measure that. You can obtain information from that, analyzing this. Okay, and the last thing you can analyze from this is the state of your UI UX. Okay, how good is your user experience? How easy is for them to get the task that you're proposing them done? Okay, for instance, aquí we can do new customers against app downloads. So if you have 90 new customers this week and you got 900 app downloads, you have a conversion ratio of 10%. Like usually when you have conversions between 16 and 25%, you are doing really well. When you are below 6%, it might not be good, but it depends on the market. Okay, so at 10%, it's a healthy one. Again, check your market because it may vary. Okay, then you measure the money spent against the results. So Google and Facebook, and it depends on your strategy because as we discussed before, we have traffic strategies, conversion strategies, retention strategies. So you need to measure what you are doing with what money: clicks, awareness, conversion, downloads. Okay, so when you measure that, how much you are spending in each one of those strategies and tactics, you can set an optimal money allocation strategy. Okay, if you are growing, startups are all about growth. They need to duplicate themselves each month. So if you have an app, you need to set downloads, a lot of downloads. Okay, if you have a web commerce, you need conversions. So you need to put a lot of money into conversions, but sometimes you don't get conversions if you don't do awareness. Okay, and sometimes we're beginning to trick Facebook. They have campaigns, for instance, to achieve WhatsApp conversations, but sometimes it is better to do basic click or traffic campaigns to get the same results at a lower cost. Then you measure the most important thing in your marketing and sales strategy when you're doing online: the lifetime value of your customer. So you need to analyze when he purchased for the first time and when he purchased for the last time. Okay, and you need to know how many transactions that person did within that period of time, how much money you received, what was the purchase frequency: monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, daily. Okay, and that can give you a revenue percentage depending on the products you sold, on the services you offer them or actually did for them, and that can give you a segmentation of customer quality. Okay, this lifetime value equation is a whole webinar. Well, Okay, all of them, a whole webinar. But this is very important because this is what sets your strategy to the future. If you have the data, you can change your product, offer less promotions, offer less free trials, change your strategy of customer acquisition, change your service, post-service, post-sale service strategy. It depends. So this is the most important one. Okay, and with that, you get to your ROAS. A lot of people talk about ROI. Yes, it's good, it's true. I'm on one of those. But when you're talking about marketing campaign, you need to assess what you are spending on marketing endeavors and how much that is returning to you. Okay, so if you're spending $1,000 or 1,000 euros in 1 month and you get a revenue of 5,000 euros, and here you measure everything: how much you're paying for ads, how much you're paying for content creation, how much you're paying your designer, how much your agency is costing you. So you put everything together monthly, and then you get a result. So if you are paying 1,000 euros and you get 5,000 euros, you have a ratio of 5 to 1 or 500%. Okay, that is the that way you can tell if you are wasting your money or investing your money. Good marketing campaigns are investments. So you put €1 to get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, right? You think about that you are wasting your money when you don't have this in your mind, when you don't know what your ROI is. Okay, that's why new customers, new companies suffer a lot and uh, have a lot of doubts when investing in marketing campaigns. If your marketing agency, your marketing strategist, or your marketing or your performance person is talking to you about this: sales transaction, marketing expense, new customers, and ticket, you can measure this week to week, and you do this with an with a board, that studio board, very simply, and you can check this in like 15 minutes. A traffic meeting for marketing should be, I don't know, 30 minutes stop, something like that. It's not about creativity. It's not about if the image is orange or green or what. It's this ratio here, this ratio right here. Okay, how much you spent, how much you got, and what you did. If something in your results does not work, if something in your strategy does not affect the objective or the key results, remove it. If it's very expensive to achieve the result, remove it, replace it. Okay, that's it. I think that's it. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. So we have Q&As.
Hello, hello. Whoa. That was a lot of content, Christian.
I told you.
But
I
good
told you.
one. Yeah, like you are completely right. We need to do like 10,000 webinars out of everything you talked about. So let's go through the questions because we have a lot of them. So, first one, we have it: how to choose my three objectives. You mentioned in the beginning that you suggest to start with, with three objectives, and how to choose which ones are the three that you should focus on wisely.
Yeah, the thing is how vital are to your existence, to
Mm-hmm.
existence of your company or the result you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So these ones, let's go back a lot.
Yeah, all the way to OKRs.
Yes, keep the company founders alive as well. That was very important for us, founding a new company.
Yeah, of course.
So a couple of objectives more to get that done. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Especially for startups, that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
First, you need to be able to keep
yeah,
yourself alive no matter what. So you need to see
yes.
what are your basic expenses and how to keep your team.
Survive the crisis. I mean, for instance, during the COVID crisis, survive the crisis. Keep
That's
at
one.
least 80% of your personal.
That's important.
See?
Yeah. So of
And
course it's tailored to the moment of your company, whether
sure,
you are starting or scaling up, or right now with the corona crisis, what is happening, what is coming up next.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how often do
I
you
had
advise
one
it?
objective for 3 years in my mind when I founded this company, but I had one for 3 months.
Okay.
It's placed in time,
Okay.
and you set milestones.
So you should have basically a long-term goal, and of course you have objectives for the long term, and then for the short term, every
Yeah,
quarter, for example.
yeah. I usually do not set more than two. Sometimes I only have one.
Okay. So three tops. One for sure. Please have an objective. Because a lot of people are doing just marketing for the sake of it, just for the sake of online presence. That's it.
Yeah,
People need to know that I have a website. People need to know that I have a social media channel. That's it.
and
So it's really
they
important
began
to
to
think.
go everywhere. Let's do a website. Let's do social media. Let's do blah 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 whatever. And you don't have anything to attach that to.
Yeah.
So how is that affecting your way of life, the results of your company, your growth? I mean,
Yeah.
set that to an objective.
100%. So let's talk about also metrics. You mentioned a minimum amount of meetings and presentations with an example that you provided. How do you set what is your indication in terms of what applies to businesses? Because of course every business is different. So what is a good way to calculate the amount of meetings, presentations, or like lead generation outcomes that I should calculate for my business?
It depends on the market, but there is a simple rule of thumb. Uh, how much money do you need to keep your company going? How much
Yeah.
money do you need to get to your next milestone, right?
Yeah.
So it is money. And if let's say you're saying selling Dutch pies, $1 each, and you need $1,000. So it means you need to sell 1,000 Dutch pies, right?
Yeah.
It's very simple like that.
Apple
So if I
tart.
sell websites, Apple Tart. sorry,
Yes.
sorry, Dutch
Exactly.
people.
So you need to sell 1,000, right? So how
Yes.
many, how do you calculate the relationship, the ratio between the sales goal and how many, what is the conversion from lead generations?
Yeah.
So how many leads do you
That
need to get, like have to calculate 1,000
usually
times?
you do a simple formula that is exposure. The 10% of your exposure are going to be your leads, and the 10% of your leads are going to be your customer. That is like a simple rule of thumb, right?
Yeah.
Your business plan is going to tell you how much money you need per quarter,
Yeah, of course.
and that then you are going to say, okay, to sell this, I'm going to need so many leads, and I'm going to need so much exposure,
Uh-huh.
right?
And for
In
example,
my
if I
case,
hire salespeople, because you normally hire people that are just doing sales, and you're going to set the goals, what do you think that is the minimum, conversion that we need to get? Like, if I tell somebody right now, I'm going, for example, to sell the experts from the expert pool, I'm going to hire a Dutch person that is going to do sales for us, for example, then what will be the
10%.
minimum? 10%?
If yeah, I mean, and 10% in services is like really low.
Really low.
In my
Okay.
case, I knew that at the price that I was putting to my services, I could convert at 50%.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if I had a product that was valued at this price, I could convert at a level of 50%. But if I raised my price, I could not convert at the same level. So I dedicated to sell only that product that I could sell at that conversion rate.
Clear. Let's stop the sharing screen so people can see us bigger now that we're just talking together. Cool. So let's go to another question that we have. So thanks for sharing knowledge. Actually, I have a question related on how to define different scenarios of sales, which is related to what we're talking. Does it doesn't it always depends on resources. So of course, if you have a budget, because everybody has a different type of budget for sales, it's good to showcase different scenarios of sales. What can happen? Let's talk about starting entrepreneurs, or like if you already have a team and a budget allocated to sales, how to go around it.
Yeah, I mean, this is something very important. I did not discuss this during the presentation, but for me, marketing endeavors and sales are attached.
Mm-hmm.
So your business strategy, your whole startup strategy, and your sales strategy and your marketing strategy are one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the hand and the fingers,
Yeah,
right?
together. Yeah.
So what you need to pay attention is what you need. If you are starting, you are going to need a lot of customers and a lot of interaction, right? Because you need to grow. So you need to put a lot of effort into that. So sometimes some startups go 50% on sales, and some go 33%, some go 50% on sales and marketing, because the most important thing is get cash flow.
Yeah. So in the beginning, that the reality when you start a company, even when you do it by yourself, like you're a solo entrepreneur, you have like normally one co-founder, and you are doing yourself. You are doing the sales yourself. And you decide, okay, I'm going to do a sales plan. What we're going to achieve? What are the basic resources? And you don't have you don't have budget to start advertising and to say, yeah, I have 1,000 euros to spend on ads. How to go around it? What would be the basic way? Like the basic growth
Time.
strategy.
Time.
Time.
The main
That's
factor
what
is
you
that,
have.
yeah, if you saw in the presentation, you have money, you have team, you have knowledge, and you have technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all of that is measured in time. So if you don't have a lot of money and if you don't have technology, all you have is your life, your time life.
Yeah.
So you need to allocate your lifetime into that. 50% to production, 50% to
Yeah.
sales.
So you need your lifetime to be able to then have your customer's lifetime measurement. It's true. But also, now that you mentioned knowledge, it's really important that some people say, yeah, but I'm a small company, I cannot hire experts or whatever. Actually, with this motivation, we started the expert pool, and with this motivation, we're doing all this free content. So there's not an excuse to do things wrong, guys. I have to say that there's a lot of nice, amazing content out there. And just to put the right people in touch, and that you can access to people like Cristhian has, gives you a really good framework to get started.
This is something that we have learned from the startup, movement growth during the last 30 years. An hour with a person who is really, really good at doing something, a single hour can solve your life.
Yeah. Which is basically the whole proposal on, from incubator acceleration programs. That's all about, like, what you get is access to mentors, to experts that will help you with 1 hour, 45 minutes. So that's why people join programs, but even if you're not part of these programs, you can join communities of knowledge, communities where you can have this knowledge exchange and don't feel like, okay, I didn't know that, or I couldn't do it because I couldn't have access to experts. That's also something that is really important to say here, now that we are thinking about people that just put 100% of their time in their startup in combination with experts like we have in the expert pool to be able to work this out. So it's not really about just money, as Cristhian said, and that's important to take into account
Yeah.
for starting
When you have
entrepreneurs.
a lot of money, you just purchase the rest.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem is not that, the problem, but when you have money to spend, the problem is not about what to do with it. It's like you had a solid ground since the beginning. So the fact that you do everything in a really planned and strategic way, like we're showing during this whole presentation, will make the difference, because when the company grows, let's say you have an amazing thing and then you have an investor and then your team grows from 4 people to 20 people. If you don't have this in place, you will be spending money on the wrong things. You will spend money in doing a bunch of explainer videos and GIFs, and animations, because they are the next thing on
Yeah.
marketing, because you didn't know what to expect from your marketing team. Yeah,
That's why I love OKR. That's
yeah.
why I love OKR, because it
By the
gets
way,
you
that's the next
set
question.
bounded
That's
to
the next
the
question.
result, to the objective.
That's the next question, because there's a lot of different, things that you said. So we want to know, for everybody to be on the same page, what is OKR, KPI, ROAS, all of these things that you said. So, in simple words, what
OKR,
are we talking about? Yeah.
OKR is objectives and key results.
And key results. Okay.
Objectives and key results. So you have
Taking notes.
an objective. Go to the Bahamas next month. So you have your key results. Buy your ticket, get your money, get your vaccines, whatever. Okay. So that's a
Okay.
very simple way to explain.
Cool.
KPIs. So that are key performance indicators.
So how you're going
So
to measure that actually you're
yeah,
accomplishing the
that,
goal?
that we are growing, we are getting the result in a 70%, and we are the 70% of the result. We're getting it done. We're doing these tasks to achieve that. Okay, so it's more, it's obviously focused to the objective, but it measures tasks, measures uh, um, the quantity of the achievement and time, the time.
Cool. And ROAS. When you were talking instead of Roy, let's talk
Oh,
about yours.
yes, that is the return on ads spent.
Okay. Specifically for advertisements.
Yes,
So not in
because
general. Yeah.
yeah, when you measure a return over investment is how much money you're putting, how
Mm-hmm.
much money you're getting back. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you need to measure your sales and marketing and advertisement operation by itself. So that's why
Yeah.
you use the ROAS, return over spent. Oh,
Good. Boom. So, well, that's only for people who are spending money on ads. Only
they
applicable
have
for
to.
those who are advertising.
They have to. I mean, if you
When
have
is
a
the
lot
right
of
moment to
time
start advertisements? Like, that's a
at the
good question,
beginning,
When?
at the beginning, and I'm going to explain you why. Because you have, if you have a good ads manager, you only need to create a little amount of content, just a landing page and a set of ads and some
Mm-hmm.
pieces, some design pieces. That is way easier, and it produces it gives you results immediately because you pay per click or per conversion or per download, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you are talking about SEO and organic traffic and social media, you need a lot of time, and that needs to grow. It takes an
Important.
effort. But if you set a campaign here today,
Yeah.
tomorrow you are going to be able to see if you get registers or downloads or forms or whatever. So the first strategy that every single startup needs to follow is ads.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean the thing is that because we come from, really different ways of thinking about advertisements, and we see traditional media, happening, then people are afraid. Like they think, oh my God, I don't have a lot of money to advertise, So when you think about the whole digital, advertisement scenario and possibilities, and you see that you can start with 20 euros, 50 euros, like, and just measure something really specific, then you can get the initial feedback from real users in regards to your
This
startup and
is
service or
what I
product.
do.
Yeah,
This is what I do when I'm thinking about ads.
yeah.
I
So
go with
guys,
fifty
you don't
dollars.
have to be rich to put yourself out
I,
there.
I I go with $50 the first day. If I get my $50 back the second day, I put the same $50.
Yeah,
If I get
it's
more, I
just
put a
like
hundred,
that. Yeah.
and
But it's really important to distinguish that Cristhian, of course, knows how to set up the campaigns and how to choose the right objectives. But a lot of people are just paying, like on Facebook, for example, just post this post and they just have results in terms of how many people, like what you said, reach and likes. Yeah. So if you don't know how to set this right, it's really important, like to do something that you have it set up with objectives before you say I'm going to put money there, which brings me to another thing. Cristhian is going to be available for free for all of you on a one-on-one basis for a free call. We have a 15 minutes call. Ask Cristhian anything so he can check into how you're setting up your ads, if you really have clear objectives or not. Please.
yeah, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to talk to the camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
Please think and question yourself. Where are your results coming from? Do you know that? Are they coming from Facebook? Are they coming from Google? Are they coming from what you're doing on WhatsApp? Do you know that? If you do not know, set a meeting.
Yes, and you're in big trouble if you don't know where you're getting your results from. So everybody who's watching and interacting during this whole event, if you haven't registered before through our different channels and you want to have these slides, this presentation, and book Cristhian, please make sure to share your email with us. If you don't want to post it there, which I understand, of course, just send a private message and we can book you with Cristhian and give you access to all of this content, because right now really is not an excuse, and that's why we make not only the presentations and all these events that we do on a regular basis now, but we give you the access on a one-on-one basis with our experts. So really take advantage of Cristhian. He's amazing in measurement, and he will tell you with really tough love what is not working. Really, guys. There you go. Here's the direct link. So please, it's available for limited time. Cristhian is there to help you out, guys, for free. Nothing, no small letters, for free. Just take advantage of this. Any other thing? Yeah. Are there any tools to calculate the lifetime value, or do I need to check it via my sales reports?
No, it depends. You can do something with dashboards. You can do with Data Studio. You can measure things if you have all the whole data. I mean, purchase sales. You can upload everything and get Data Studio. And there are several tools to do that. I mean, Segment is one to measure a lot of things. That is really good. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it depends. It depends on the money you have to spend on technology and the time that you have to do that. But you can get things done really easily with Data Studio.
Okay, which also needs to be set up.
Yes.
Or we need to basically do something because it's not like ta-da, and these are your
So
metrics. No. So please book Cristhian for this because we need to do a whole new event about how to set it up. So yeah, that's a nice to have. By the
I
way, if
told
you
you
have
what to
suggestions,
measure, but I didn't tell you how. I know. Sorry.
if you have some suggestions on topics that we should include in our regular monthly agendas, please also drop it. We're closing May. June is coming up with a boom, a lot of things that I'm going to tell you about. But just to close it, to wrap it up, well, that's about measurement. How can I measure everything in one place? So the answer is Google Data Studio.
Yes.
Yes, that is the Bible. So everybody should
Yeah, Data
set it
Studio.
up.
Why?
Yeah.
Because you can set if you have your AdWords campaign, your ads campaign is not called AdWords anymore. You have ads. You have Facebook. You can put everything in Google through the tag manager. And then you can move all the data to Data Studio in a dashboard.
Well, very important. So basically, let's set it up. I think that this is a really nice topic for the 15 minutes call with you to see how to set that up. Because most people, I'm 100% sure, maximum Google Analytics. That's it for
Yeah.
tracking. So yeah, that's really important. I think that that's everything, Cristhian. Really perfectly on time. Thank
Awesome.
you for this amazing knowledge transfer. And we're ready to go for more because in June we're going to host a lot of more events. We're going to create way more in depth content. Make sure that you check it out. And anything else that we have to say about this topic, Cristhian, or that you want to give in terms of recommendations moving forward?
No, I told them already. Measure things.
Measure what you don't measure, you lose. So maybe
Yeah.
you're losing a lot of your time, your co-founder's time, your intern's time. Make sure that you measure everything you do. And because
Yeah.
we want to do what we preach, I will also book you because we want to measure the outcome of all of these events, huh? that are happening. We're creating all this content, we're helping a lot of people, and it's good to measure what comes out of it in general because that's why we do it. We want to help, we want to add value to our entrepreneurial
Definitely.
community, and we need to know who is there watching us.
So your conversion
More and
ratio
more,
will
of
be
course.
views, comments against bookings for 15 minutes sessions, something
Yeah,
like.
I know. You know the drill. So we will talk about it in our one-on-one. And I invite you and everybody to hop on into our agenda for June. We are going to be posting our coming events. Every Monday we have something called Coffee Break with Maria, which is basically me, co-founder at 7 Days to Go, leading this amazing project called Expert Pool with now like more than 50 experts. What do we do during the coffee breaks? We just talk like we're doing now with Cristhian. Cristhian, bye. So basically, we have these live coffee breaks that we do every Monday. We do it at 5 p.m. Netherlands and 10 a.m. Colombian time for those who are watching from Colombia. It's just half an hour. Grab your favorite coffee and join the conversation. So first of June, we are going to start with our expert on business landing, scaling up. That means going international. Boom. So we're going to talk about what you must know before scaling up your business. So basically, amazing, we're getting nice clients, everything. When is the right moment to scale up? What to take into account? How to find the local partners you need? All of this going to happen on Monday. So for startups or for people that already have basically a business with paying clients and you're ready to grow and expand internationally. Then June, the 3rd of June, we have our event in Spanish. Every month we have 2 events in Spanish. So every 2 weeks we have Español, se habla español. This one is going to be about technology for entrepreneurs. So basically is about what technology do you need for your startup when you get started and you need to choose and you have like, let's start with a Wix website, a WordPress website, let's do this and that and that. What technology you should choose, especially when you have your own application or own solutions, when you're defining something called MVP, what to use, that's basically it. So this is one that is about cómo elegir la mejor tecnología para tu startup in Spanish. And it's on Wednesdays. All the events in Spanish are on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Colombian time, 5 p.m. Netherlands. And then we have every Thursday, as you could see, we have live webinars. Those events are always 1 hour long. And we have our live webinar in English on how to generate leads on LinkedIn. Yeah, we're inviting LinkedIn to the party. So far, we're talking a lot about all social medias. We talked a lot about, in general, what to do, but we really want to focus on LinkedIn since it's, you know what it is. It's the strongest professional network there is. It's bigger, really, really, really huge in the Netherlands, and it's getting way, 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 way bigger in Colombia and in other Latin American countries. So what is the point? We want to show you how to set up this business page, how to create strong network, how to take the best out of everything that the LinkedIn offers, including Sales Navigator, including how to even approach people, because, okay, you can do campaigns, but what messaging works better for you, and for your business. So this is going to be by our brand new expert from the Netherlands, Nico Waver. I think that I pronounced it wrong. That's everything, everybody. That's for next week only. We are going to post really soon the agenda for all of June. We normally send a newsletter with the whole overview on the 1st of June. So if you're not part of our mailing list, so you can get the full overview and plan your time for the whole month of June, especially in summer, we need to be picky about the events we attend. So please make sure that you send us your email so we can basically include you in our database and you have access to all the events from the 1st of June. That's that, everybody. We are early this time. Normally we end at 60 minutes, point. But this is everything I have to tell you. Last but not least, we have an expert in the spotlight every month. We're going to be announcing who's going to be our expert in the spotlight. For this month, we had Sushil Krishna, and he's the expert when it comes to, of course, marketing. He's into really B2B e-commerce marketing, but he's really, really, really an expert and a partner at Hotspot. So he was like around our timeline talking about Hotspot and talking about how to use Hotspot for sales. We hosted an event together on this really relevant topic. He's still available for exploratory calls, so you can really talk about how to standardize your internal procedures when it comes to sales and marketing, like Cristhian was saying right now. So all your team is in one place and you can use Hotspot, even if it's the free version or the upgraded version, and you can really track on results, because in the end, it's all about measurements. So please, everybody, check our expert in the spotlight book a meeting with him, really, before the end of this month. So you have few days to book him and to just talk to him on what you can do to set up your CRM system correctly and take the most, take advantage of it. So that's everything. Special thanks to Cristhian, who's still there in the background, and to everybody who joined us today and during the whole month. It was amazing to have this month together, and we'll stay in touch for everything. So have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. See you next month. See you Monday. Okay. Do it, everybody. Ciao. Hasta la vista.